Hello and a very warm welcome to the Real Talk. How are you doing wherever you're watching us from? Thank you for making time to be here. We always are honored to have your company. And please, let's have a conversation, yeah? If you feel like you want to make a suggestion, contribute to the conversation, let's use the hashtag The Real Talk. Whatever you put it online, I'll appreciate finding it and we will respond to you. We're live on RTV and on our official YouTube channel. Today's conversation is a money one. Everyone wants to make money, yeah? So how do we make money and how do we make more of it? How do we spend it? We're going to be talking about in the Capital Markets Authority, investments, savings, whatever term you want to call it. But if you have some money today and you want it to grow, what do you do? Come with me as we meet our guest for today's The Real Talk. Welcome to the program. My name is Jackie Lumbasi, and our guest is Romeo Ngarambe, who's the CEO of Capital Market Authority. Romeo, thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much for having me.
How is a typical day for a CMA CEO?
There are no typical days, huh? But it's filled with meetings, both for outside stakeholders and as well as internal stakeholders.
Yeah.
My colleagues, we do meet quite a bit. But I find that a lot of my time is spent outside of the office.
Oh, outside of the office.
Yes.
That is what a CEO should be doing, I think. Yes. Wonderful. And it's been 3 months since you came in, huh?
Yes.
Wonderful.
About 3 months, a little over 3 months.
Yes, good. How is it going so far?
So far, so good. I'm getting settled in, getting used to the Rwandan market, getting used to my colleagues. So it's been a good transition for me, yes.
That's wonderful. I want us to go back, way back, where this journey started.
Yes.
You're the guy, you know, I was going through your resume and my goodness, haven't you done so many things with yourself at this young life, young age of yours? You've quite the resume. So when it comes to finances, investment, you're the person to talk to. But that is today. Where did it all start?
Thank you for the question, Jackie. You know, I grew up here in Kigali. Yes.
Born and raised here, eh?
Yeah, yes, well, raised.
Okay.
Born, maybe not, but raised.
But raised for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
I did high school here, local public high school, finished at Lycée de Kigali. Most of the people will know. I even did 1 year of university, the National University in Butare. Before then, continuing my education in the U.S.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started. I don't know if you have questions about that.
I want to ask how you ended up in the U.S. then. You
Yes.
know? It's not only that somebody will do 1 year at the university and then decide, let me go do the rest of the years away. So what drove you?
Well, I think it was just opportunity. You know, I became aware of some scholarships that were being given at some universities to foreign students. And I applied and luckily I got in.
Lovely. Did you have any family members out there?
No, I did not have any family. When I went straight to university, lived on campus.
Lived on campus?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And just started my journey like that.
Oh, nice. Did you study and work or did you just do the studies?
I did both. Huh? I did, part of my scholarship had to do with, I had to put in at least 15 hours of work every week.
Yeah.
And so I did study and work at the same time, but on campus, nothing outside, except maybe during vacation.
Yeah.
But during the year, I would study the regular curriculum and then also did various roles at the admissions office. I've been a cook, a clean, you know, all
campus, even all that.
all those jobs that the students do on campus.
What course were you pursuing?
So I did my undergrad in business administration with a concentration in accounting. Yes.
God, I fear mathematics, sciences, all these things. Give me numbers. Oh my God, you want me dead. You want me dead.
Yes.
And so when you left campus, did you ever think of coming back as soon as you graduated? Or you said, I have room to start here, gain some experience, and then maybe later go home?
Yeah, it's the later. Okay. So I did, after graduating, I got a job at a small company. I did that for about a little over a year. And then I thought to myself, you know, you can do better. And so I applied for a master's degree.
Wow.
I got into a master's at a public university, much larger than the one that had given me a scholarship initially. This one was large university, public university in upstate New York.
Okay.
But that really opened a lot of doors for me. That school, although it's not, you know, the typical Ivy League, you know, Harvard or so forth, it was a well-known school for the state of New York, and we had a lot of recruiters come through there, and so.
So you were spotted.
Yes, yes, yes.
As a young, brilliant man, you were spotted.
I have to thank. At the time, I had a friend of mine, a Korean guy. We were doing our coursework together. And one day he says to me, Romeo, you know, they have this thing called career fair. You ought to think about it. I'm like, what's a career fair? And it's basically a fair where all the employers come and advertise for open jobs.
Yes.
And so
we have something similar of late being done in Kigali.
Okay.
I cannot remember which organization, but we've had it for a few years.
Yes.
It might not be at
at that level,
not level, but we're doing something within our means.
Yeah.
And so you have all employers.
We had a bunch of employers. Our school was known for engineering had a good program, but finance and accounting even better. So we had large banks, large insurance companies, large accounting firms, consulting audit firms that came to recruit. And, you know, thanks to my friend, I put on my suit, I printed my CV and went about shaking hands.
Shaking hands,
passing out my CV.
Confidently.
Yes, trying to appear confident, but it worked out. I got an internship, I think, after my first year at Ernst & Young in New York City. Big Four accounting firm. So I did my internship there. And then came back for my last year, and that internship helped secure a full-time job after that with Deloitte, a competitor. But and that's
not with yes. No. When you're done with the internship, you went to a competitor.
Yes. Yeah. Different circumstances led to me going to the competitor.
Yeah.
And that's really where I would say my professional career took off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely. How many siblings do you have?
I have two, older brother and a younger sister.
And a younger sister.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So after you've had, and I believe that was just the beginning, Ernst & Young, then you know, that's an internship, then you get a job, and you've had an excellent career, Johnny. More than 20 years in New York, then you decided to come back home?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
is that a story that needs 3 days to be told, or is it?
Could. I could give you the short of it.
Please do give me the short of it. Yeah.
But you know, after Deloitte, I worked for a different organization, fairly large company as well, called Corning Inc., and they're Fortune 300, I think, right now, or maybe 200.
You know, I realized you haven't worked for a small company. That's just not in you. No, you're not cut out for small timers.
I was very lucky in that sense. I guess.
Man, you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, I was working at Corning, and my wife and I, you know, by now we have 3 kids, and we're thinking about our future, and it was a long process of coming to terms with what will our future look like, and so we decided to go back home. For me, I had been in the U.S. for 22 years altogether, so I think it was time. It was just time.
Yeah, it was time. Yeah.
And, you know, every time we would come home, the kids really loved it here, and you know, we have both sets of parents. My wife's parents are here. My parents are here, so we just thought it'd be time for us to come home. So
and if the kids loved it here, because in most cases parents will struggle because of the children.
Yes.
But if the children already love it, then it will be easy peasy. Yeah, getting them out. Wonderful. Let's now go to the Capital Markets Authority.
Yes.
You as the CEO, and thank you for sharing that backstory with us. When you look at the few months that you've been in there, how are things so far? And what would you tell for someone who's watching us and when they hear the Capital Markets Authority, they're thinking, that's not my conversation, let me switch off, let me go away. How do we have a conversation about Rwanda's capital markets and have somebody glued to this conversation?
Yes.
What would you share with them that you know suits them and their sister and the other person next to them?
Yes. So the capital market is a market like any other market. You know, you have a buyer, you have a seller.
I go to Zinia Market, so it's
Yes,
like Zinia Market.
it's very not
To be wrong or market.
but the principles behind it are the same. You know, you have a buyer, you have a seller,
And you have the tomatoes and potatoes and everything.
potatoes, and those in this world are called stocks and bonds and collective investment schemes and other type of products. But right now in Rwanda, most of the products that we have that are being sold on the market are equities, stocks, or bonds, and also the collective investment scheme. And I can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But basically, what a stock is just a share, a piece of a company. So you as a seller, let's say you have a company that needs to expand and you need cash, an infusion of cash. You say, you know what, I'll sell a part of my company and those people will give me money. And with that money, I can expand my business. So they become shareholders. And what you sell to them are those shares, the equities. So it's really a piece of a company that's being sold on the market. And the buyer, which in this case is called investor, can buy into that with the promise that that share will grow as that company grow, but also they will receive dividends.
Yes.
That's as simple as that.
So let's talk about the dividends.
Yes.
A few years ago, I sat down with a lady who had been convinced to buy shares, and she was angry.
Okay.
Angry because I think she must have been like in the 4th year of having invested.
Yes.
And she was saying, I receive very little at the end of the month. Sorry, at the end of the year.
Yes.
I think the dividends would come once a year. So she says, I receive very little at the end of the year. I should have invested the other side. And, you know, that made me realize, when you say it's like a market, you know, the market person will come with their basin of potatoes and they will either sell the full basin and get this money back or they will,
Yes.
you know,
They
that.
are.
And then the person of the dividends,
Yes.
how patient should they be for them to harvest
Yeah, the
the fruits,
dividends.
the dividends?
So that's a very good question. Here in Rwanda, most of the companies that go on the stock market are fairly established. So the MTNs, the BKs of the world, the Bralirwa.
Bralirwa, yeah.
And so they're making enough money where most of the time they're able to pay back dividends yearly because they have established business and they're able to pay back their investors on a recurring basis. In some of the countries, let's say in the US, for example, you would have companies that are trying to grow. And so they don't have enough to grow and also pay back the investors. But what happens is that as you go in, you have to be aware, what kind of company is this that I'm buying into? Is this a growing company that is not maybe ready to give back dividends right away, but maybe the share can grow. If you bought it at 100, maybe it'll go to a 200 because people see the potential. Or is it a more established company that as soon as I buy, I know I can expect shares the year after? I can give you an example, a very famous company in the US called Amazon. Amazon was on a growth trajectory for over 10 years. And over 10 years, they never paid dividends.
Oh.
Yes.
And they had shareholders.
They had shareholders, but the share of Amazon that was bought maybe at 100 francs, let's say, it's just an example, I don't have the figures in front of me, continuously grew because people thought, okay, this company, they're growing, the share on the market there's more demand for it, therefore the share grew. And it's up to the person who holds the share. They can say, hey, I'm selling this I bought it at 100, I think I can get 120. And the buyer, on the other hand, can be like, yes, you know what? I'm willing to pay that 120 because eventually it'll be worth that much. So it's a dynamic market. It's an actual market.
Yeah.
But at the basic of it is you're buying a piece of a company, or the company is issuing bonds now. That's another product that we have on this market.
Yeah.
Bonds are a little different than shares, where you, Jackie, you decide to raise money, but you don't want to give a piece of your company. You issue a bond. It's sort of an IOU. It's a loan. So I give you the money, and you pay me back with interest. And so that's what a bond is.
Yeah.
It's basically a loan from me, the investor,
Yeah.
to you, that you pay me with interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in a society where people want to make money quickly,
Yes.
you know, there's always this conversation when we are out there on social media or even in our family meetings, and you're always wondering, so when I have this money, should I invest in a shop? Because I see we have very many shops and every one of them
Yes.
has a customer.
Yes.
And then another person is saying, no, buy land, because land appreciates and
Yes.
quickly, you know, you will need, you will make your money back easily. Then another person will say, no, you invest in stocks and shares because you will easily make money without necessarily
Yes.
working
Yes.
so hard. So in this society where you have people that want to make that money quickly, is this something you'd advise, is investing in this market something you'd advise them to? And would you tell them to come in with the hope of making quick money, or to come in and save for
Yes,
the long
for
term?
the long term. So I would say the capital market, there are opportunities to make fast money, but in general, it's not. It's not the avenue you would use if you're looking for a quick return. Most of the time, you want to put in your money and wait for a few years. I give you an example of Bank of Kigali, for example. I think 2 years ago, a share cost 300, but now it's up to 600. So whatever money you would have put in, it would have doubled. And on top of that, they also give you dividends. So the advantage of the capital market is that usually it's liquid. What do I mean by liquid? You can buy your share today and sell it tomorrow.
Sell it tomorrow.
Yes. If you buy a plot of land, yes, the appreciation will be there, but sometimes...
It could take 3 years.
Yes, it might take 3 years to appreciate. It might take, and once you're ready to sell, it might take you a year, 2 years.
Exactly. And sometimes you might even sell at a loss or the same price you bought it at,
Yes.
because you need money right now.
Right now.
And you're not going to get whatever amount you want. So somebody finds you at your desperate moment. And
Yes,
offers you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, as you look at the market, it's a market like any other. It's a market like the real estate market.
Yes.
Some people choose to invest in housing, and you hoping that it will appreciate, and in the same time, it gives you maybe the rent.
Yeah.
And the share is the same. You know, it can appreciate it, but also pay you dividends. It pay you that rent as well.
Yeah.
The advantage of this one is fairly liquid. Usually, you can just go to the stock exchange and sell it if you need cash. House, it might take a while. Land, it might take a while. Businesses, then you have to put in your some elbow grease. Huh? You have to sweat
Yes.
to produce that money.
No doubt.
So the capital market is I would say fairly passive. I would say those companies you invested in, they're the one working, and then you reap the rewards.
If someone is watching us and they're out of the country, whether it's a Rwandan who's living in the diaspora, or a Tanzanian who wants to invest here,
Yes.
A German who wants to invest here,
Yes,
are they welcome?
they are. They sure are welcome. At most of these large banks, you can open what's called a CSD account, and it's an account that allows you to purchase those bonds, to purchase those shares, and those are open to anyone and everyone.
Oh, okay. Okay. You don't have to move to Rwanda.
No.
Invest from wherever you are.
Yes, you can
Yes,
transfer your money to a bank that has those services, and can do that process for you.
Yeah. When you look at how far we have come.
Yes.
Do you feel like we have a better understanding of the market?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We are.
As a people.
Yes,
Yes.
we are. I think
Yeah.
we are. The numbers.
The numbers are increasing?
Yes, they are. They are increasing quite a bit. We have. I'll give example about Iterambere Fund. It's a fund. We call them collective investment schemes, and basically individuals such as you and I pool our money. Or, I mean, we don't have to pull it. We can just give it to those, put it into that fund.
Iterambere Fund.
Iterambere Fund.
Yeah.
And there's other funds as well. I'm just giving that example. And the managers of those funds will then invest on your behalf. And they have
We can save together.
Yes.
I could go in, save as an individual,
Yes.
but I could also save with a friend or save with a brother,
Absolutely.
as a family.
Yeah, as a family, yes, you can open. You can pull your money together and give it to that fund, and they will invest on your behalf.
Yeah.
And usually, the advantages of the capital market is that their returns are a little bit higher than what you would get at a bank, for example. So I know there's a fund called Aguka. I think
Yes,
they
I know
give
Aguka too
about
well.
a little under 11% returns. There's another called Iterambere, a little under 12%. You can buy your own bonds. Some of them go up to 13%. So those returns you can't really find at banks in general.
Okay.
If you place your money just like that. But to come back to your question, those funds we've seen grow exponentially, really over the last 2 or 3 years, and so that goes to show that there's more awareness within the country, within the young and old as well.
Yeah. Great. We're going to take a short break.
Okay.
When we come back, I want to become gender sensitive.
Sure.
I want to see what's in there. What do you have for the women? Is there any specific products that you have for us? We're taking a short break. We'll be back. Thank you for being part of the Real Talk, and please feel free to get in touch. Send through that message using the hashtag, and we will respond to you. We'll be back in a bit. Welcome back. This is the Real Talk. My name is Jackie, and Romeo is our guest. Romeo is the CEO of Capital Markets Authority Rwanda. Please find them on the different social media platforms. You know, besides this conversation that Romeo and I are having, it's very important for you to go online, find the website, follow them on the different social media platforms, so you get to understand even better. But also, in case there's something that Romeo will say that is not very clear to you, feel free to ask. Whether you're asking me or you DM them, somebody will respond to you. What do you have for women? You know, and I ask about women because women do a lot of savings on their own. They could be very informal in nature, but you see, we find women doing great things, running families of that small saving. How would you encourage them to shift things and do them in a new way, modern way?
That's a good question. I think I should have maybe mentioned this earlier, but in addition to our job of protecting the investors, we do also have a mandate to promote the market. And so as such, we conduct many awareness sessions throughout the country. We go around the country teaching people about financial literacy, also savings and investing. We do meet with various institutions, universities, ministries, various avenues that we use to reach out to people. Right now, we have specific programs for the youth. We just concluded last week our youth forum, where we went around the country and engaged over 6,000 university students, got about 1,100 of them to participate in our challenge, eventually brought back 25 of them in Kigali, and we had 5 winners of the challenge. And then their prizes were in stocks and bonds, so capital market instruments. So with the youth, we have a particular program, and we're hoping to develop the same for women specifically. We're in touch with Prof, and hopefully we can develop something similar to what we do with the youth with Mijeprof. Not saying that we're not reaching out to the youth, to women.
Women, you are.
We are, but nothing targeted specifically for them.
Okay.
But I do realize that it's a need, and it's something we should really be addressing.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, we've talked about bonds, equities, shares. Our viewers could be familiar with that. Then there's something that has become an in thing, the green economy.
Yes.
And I am aware that we have something called the green bonds.
Yes.
What's that?
So a green bond is very similar to a regular bond, where a company can issue bonds. They get money from investors and they pay them with interest. But when it comes to green, that money raised has to go towards environmental friendly projects. So I could raise regular bonds for anything, but if I term it as green, usually it means that it goes towards environmental friendly projects. Yes.
Something around sustainability.
Sustainability, and some people are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Ecological conscious, and they don't want to invest in any kind of thing, and they prefer to invest in things that will better our environment. Yeah. So green bonds, a lot of times you'll find that investors from Europe are really keen to invest in that, in those type of bonds, and so it's a great avenue to help work on projects that really helps the environment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we ready for such a bond?
We do.
We have. Am I? Look at me, who probably has not yet invested in shares and stocks and everything, and now you're telling me there is the green bond.
Yes.
Am I ready for it? Can we leap and overtake the others that go straight for the sustainable one?
Yes. You can purchase green bonds. BRD has issued sustainability-linked bonds. There is a company here in Rwanda called Prime Energy that issued green bonds in the past, and you can purchase them just like you purchase any other bond. But if your pocket wants to follow your conscience of being green and encouraging, sustainable projects, then you would put your money there instead of just any other regular bond.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you compare us to the other capital markets,
yes.
How are we faring? You know, we are fairly young.
Yes.
There are lots of other advanced markets, but how are we doing, and what do you find attractive? Why should somebody choose investing in Rwanda and not somewhere else?
Yes. So Rwanda obviously is a great story in general,
no doubt,
in Africa. And so our capital market follows suit. I think, let me take it back a little bit and compare it to maybe our neighbors, Kenya and Uganda, Tanzania. They're much more mature. They have much more mature capital markets, and so they have a lot more companies on their stock exchanges, for example, and they've done things that are a bit more advanced. But Rwanda is slowly getting there. Through the Kigali International Finance Center, we're trying to attract more funds to come into Rwanda. There's incredible incentives that are out there, and so with the ease of doing business, with the stability that the country offers, I don't see why we wouldn't look into Rwanda. And we're seeing large investment banks that are opening their offices here in Rwanda, and so it's definitely up and coming. It's definitely up and coming. Yes. Okay.
I'm happy that you're with the Youth Forum, and I've been part of the Youth Forum. I've seen the Youth Forum grow. It started off as the University Challenge. I've seen it happen. You know, you're doing your part as CMA. What do you want parents to be doing at home? And, you know, before these children get to you, because a lot of us have found ourselves making mistakes
yes.
as far as money is concerned, because nobody ever sat us down our parents probably did not have the kind of money they thought deserved a conversation. So the little money that came in also just went out that way. And so you find we got stagnated.
Yes.
But things have to change. The story has to change.
Yes.
So what sort of conversations do you want families to have around money and investment and the markets?
So there is a word we use in finance. It's called compound interest. And compound interest is, some investors called it the eighth wonder of the world. The longer you keep your money in a market that earns interest, the more it compounds. And usually when you look at curves of, okay, I'm putting in 100 over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and at a certain point, the curve shoots up because now the compounding it gets to an inflection point and the money really starts up. And so if you leave your money in the market longer, on a longer term basis, it really, really makes a big difference. And so to your question, parents, start early for your children. You put in 100 francs, 200, 1,000. Over 20 years, you would be very surprised at how much it could bear for your children. Once they're ready to face the world, they will have a really nice nest egg that you really didn't have to struggle so much, but you allowed the compound interest to work for them. And so that would be my key message to the parents. Start early for your children. You don't have to do as much, to put in as much, but trust me, that compounding interest will really help out.
That makes a lot of sense because, as a parent, the child comes in and you start thinking and planning for them.
Yes.
It's not like they've just happened. So don't get to like 10 years later and treat it like an emergency.
Yes.
Because you have a way that you can start early and just put in the little that you can. Because the other thing that people fear is when you have a conversation around investment and savings, people say, I don't have enough money. I need to have enough money. Do you agree that somebody needs to have enough money?
No, no. For one of the instruments that I mentioned earlier, collective investment scheme, you can start with as little as 2,000. And that's 2,000 francs, 2,000 Rwandan francs.
2,000 francs, like
yes, as often as you want.
I could buy water. I'm walking downtown, and I'll buy 2 bottles of water. 2,000 francs, and I'll open an account.
You can open an account, and that money can start working for you instead of you constantly working for money.
Yeah. I love that you say that because even somebody at the university, whether at the university or secondary school, you could have your parent giving you money for bombo, for mandazi. You could be deliberate and save that money and put it there. Oh, wow. As we move on, I want to take you back to that conversation of the compounding.
Yes.
So for me, who's not that young, let's say compound effect has... or have I surpassed it or it has surpassed me?
No. Yes.
So there's the conversation that we can have for the young people. But how about the late bloomers?
Yes.
This person who's currently watching us and they're thinking they're late.
Yeah, you're never too late, huh? Instead of having no interest bearing on your money, let's say you put it under the mattress or even within the bank, why don't you put it in an instrument that can give you a little bit more interest on top of it? So I think we're all saving, whether you start late or early, you're still saving for yourself, for your future. And so I would say put it in a place where you can get a little more return than just the average, bank yields that are available, or just putting it
you just
safe.
Want to see.
Yes, to see.
You're happy seeing it and it's safe. It's not growing, but it's safe.
So it's not too late. It's not too late for anyone. I think anyone can start at any age, and One thing I would mention is that our lifespans are expanding, yeah? Even in Africa. So, Jackie, you
Are they
say
expanding or decreasing?
it's increasing.
Okay.
It is increasing overall worldwide.
Okay.
Because of advance in medicine. Well, my parents are in their 70s, for example. But back when I was young, 70 was really old. And so you can see that in a few years, you start now up to 100, that compounding will get there.
It will get there. They say you only live once, so you have your money, you
Yes,
spend it today.
you spend it.
You're not sure about tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But then, what if you really lived to 100?
That's exactly right.
And you never ever thought of securing your future?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And it's important to have some level of financial literacy, have some level of budgeting. You decide, hey, I can use this much for pleasure, and I can use this much for my future. And I think it gives you peace of mind as well sometimes to know that you have a little something saved.
Yeah. Let's talk about companies. So the organizations that, because we're here talking about individuals, but there could also be organizations that struggle. They don't even know whether they are good enough or ready for the capital markets. When it comes to preparedness, governance, and all these things, what should a company put in place, or have, what sort of structures do they need to have in place for them to join the
capital market.
The capital markets? Yes. How do they get to benefit from it?
Yes. So companies can really benefit from the capital market by raising what's called, I guess, patient capital. Usually, when a company is looking to expand, they think of loans, and so you go to a bank, but then you have to start repaying that loan within a couple months. If you're raising through bonds, for example, you don't have to make payments until a year from now. If you're doing it through equities or shares, then it can be even longer. So the capital markets allows for a company to raise money. That's called, we like to call it patient capital, where it's not required of you to pay back right away. And so when a company is thinking of expanding, I think the capital market is a good alternative to what most people are used to, going to the bank, getting a loan. But in order for you to raise money on the capital market, you have to be ready. You have to have your financials in order. You have to have a governance, a board of director. You have to have a level of professionalism. But there's many avenues here within the Rwanda Stock Exchange where people actually help you with that. And so, there are ways that companies can really approach the Rwanda Stock Exchange, for example, and be able to get that help.
They'll be prepared for it.
Yes, to get prepared, and they give you a pathway towards listing your company or raising money through bonds.
Does the same go for a potential investor? So somebody who's thinking of investing their money.
Yes.
And earlier on, you said you should be aware of the company that you're going to invest in. So same thing, walk to Rwanda Stock Exchange and make inquiries about that company you're interested in?
You could go that way, but we also have what we call brokers in the market, and those are people who are able to sell you the shares, the bonds, and those people can advise you, because usually they follow the market, they know the returns of this company or that company, they're closer to the action, and you approach those people and they can advise you on the type of investment that you can make, and depending on your age, again, you were talking about starting late and early. Maybe if you're young, you have an appetite for risk, and so you put all your money into stocks. But maybe the older you get, you're like, okay, let me be a little more cautious. Let me invest in treasury bills, bonds. They're maybe a little lower return, but they're safe. I know the government is not going to default tomorrow, after tomorrow. And so brokers can really, or investment banks can really help in that regard. Yes.
Let's look at the future.
Yes.
What's your projection? You know, what do you see for the capital markets in the next few years? I'll not give you how many years.
Yes.
I want you to just go wild. Where do you see us going from
Yes.
here? And, you know, what will be your legacy?
Yeah. 3 months in, I don't know if I'm ready to talk about legacy.
You might not be, no, it's okay. I want to scratch that. We will have a conversation 2 years from now.
2 years from now. No, I think in the pipeline, there are companies that are looking to list. There are new type of instruments. Here, I think I've mentioned really 3: stocks, bonds, and collective investment schemes. But there's other type of instruments that people are really interested in bringing into the market. So I think, without putting a number onto it, but I think the capital market in Rwanda has a bright future, very bright future in terms of instruments, in terms of other companies listing, in terms of people who are interested in investing here in Rwanda because of the stability, because of really the story of Rwanda. So the capital market will only follow suit. And so I would say, you know, anyone, now is the time to join.
Yeah, now is the time to join.
Yes.
I want to get a bit personal. I know you've bought a car. You've probably bought or built a house. You have bought a piece of land. You definitely have bought some shares and stuff. Where would you say your money is at its best? Which would be the best financial decision that you've made so far?
I think probably my house. Just because you're able to get so much with so little down payment.
Is that a mortgage?
Yes, a mortgage. And so, you know, I would say that's been a good investment. Now, the stock exchange as well, the shares and the equities, that has been also very good, just because it's liquid. You know, you can access it in times of crisis. And so, the other things like cars are depreciable assets, so they really don't grow in value.
Okay.
And so those, they are a necessity, but I wouldn't say a car is, yes, they're a liability, and they depreciate as soon as you pay your money. Tomorrow, if you go sell that car, it'll be worth less than what you paid for. The other things may appreciate, but yeah, and really, it depends on where you are in life.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, there's this fascination with owning a house very young.
Yes.
And I followed a conversation recently. It was on a space, if I'm not wrong. And guys were discussing, and somebody really, it's interesting that you'd say your house was the best investment. And somebody else will say, you know, don't invest in a house, especially before you're 45, before you're 50, because you'll be holding your money in a place where it will not grow.
Yes. So,
how true is that?
So,
how risky is it?
It's true in that you know, investing in a house is usually capital intensive, and you live in there. You know, if it's your personal home, you live in there, and so.
And if you're living in it, it's not an investment.
It's not really. It's not an investment at the time. So again, I have to be nuanced in my answer. I think the capital market is a very viable avenue to put your money in. Especially the younger you are, the better. The better. The much better. And when I lived in the U.S., some states had a really high cost of living, so it would be better to put your money in your stock in the capital market and rent. And in some of the states, the cost of living was low, so it would be better maybe to invest in the house. And so it's very nuanced.
Yep.
Yes.
Depends on where you are,
yes.
as you said. As we conclude the conversation, Romeo, if somebody chooses to forget everything that we've said on the show, what is that one thing that you want them to take away? What is it you want them to remember?
I think just start small, start now.
Start small, start now.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. The little you have can go a long way.
Yeah, yeah, it's never too small, nah?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for honoring us with your presence, and we look forward to having you back soon.
Oh, thank you, Jackie.
And all the best to you and the team.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's been a great pleasure for me to have this conversation with Romeo, and I hope that you have a slightly better understanding of the capital markets. If you need more, please follow them on the different social media platforms, visit the website. You've heard what Romeo said. This market is ours. It's for everyone. It's not for you to say, no, let me remove myself because that's for people with money. No, it's for every one of us. So let's get involved. Let's invest. You take care. We look forward to seeing you next week. God bless.